So, of course, craft-wise, you could be collecting the fallen leaves to have some fun indoors. So, as I said, go out to the outdoor space or the garden or park and take a bag with you and collect different shaped leaves, different coloured leaves. There are all sorts of wonderful shapes around. And then these can be used for activities indoors where it's warmer and drier. So there are trellis fact sheets that go into all these things. You can use these leaves for wax rubbing. So putting a piece of paper over the top and make a rubbing with a wax crayon. You can do watercolor printing where you paint onto the leaves and then use them, flatten them down to print. You can create mandalas and make interesting shapes. And of course, if you've got these leaves, you can process them, putting them flat in a book with some kitchen roll either side. So they dry out, are flattened, and then perhaps could be used to decorate cards or to decorate pots. There are all sorts of wonderful things you can do with leaves. So that's the fun side of the autumn and collecting leaves and looking and seeing what's there. But you can also, a horticultural gardening part of using up leaves, you've got to rake up the leaves or sweep them up in your space. And you can make something called leaf mould, which is a funny name, but actually what it describes is a way of the leaves rotting down and becoming a lovely compost that we can use. It does take a year, but if you've got to sweep up or rake up the leaves anyway, why not then put them into a black bag, or if you've got an old compost bag, you can put them in, squash them down, make sure the leaves are slightly damp. That's fine if the leaves are quite small. The picture of the leaves there are silver birch leaves. You can see they're quite small. And sometimes you might have a sycamore nearby or something like that. So if you do mow and you've got a mower, it's sometimes a better idea to just mow over those very big leaves because it will make them rot down much quicker. So push all these damp leaves into a bag, tie up the top, but make sure there's some holes in the bag as well. And then those bags can be pushed behind a shed in the shady corner of the garden, somewhere just hidden away so you don't have to think about them. And they will break down gradually over the year. Yes, it does take a year, I know, but it doesn't matter because you end up with this lovely leaf mould, which is really useful to put on as a soil improver or mulch on top of your pots or your garden. Or you can sieve it to make it into potting compost as well. If you don't have many leaves, of course, you can just put them into a compost heap if you've got it. But this leaf mould method is a really good method of making something from nothing and from something you would have tidied away anyway. So leaf mould, an excellent thing to do.